Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. I want to believe that this video finds you well wherever you are watching us. If you are watching for the first time, kindly subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell, and you can also like our videos. And to all our subscribers and those who support this channel in one way or the other, I want to say thank you. May God bless you. The political temperatures in Kenya continue to rise, and the latest is the invasion of the Jubilee Party by Rigathi Gachagua and William Ruto. They want to forcefully take over Jubilee for themselves. But Uhuru Kenyatta is not taking it lying down and is fighting like a wounded lion. The international community seems to be watching, and yesterday Uhuru Kenyatta held talks with a very high-level delegation team that was led by the US Ambassador to Kenya, Madam Meg Whitman. Details of Uhuru meeting with foreign ambassadors after taking head-on William Ruto. Former President Uhuru Kenyatta on Tuesday, May 23rd, hosted foreign diplomats including US Ambassador Meg Whitman at his office in Nairobi. In a statement by the former head of state, it was noted that the delegation also consisted of Valentin Zellweger from Switzerland and the European Union Deputy Managing Director Africa, Bernard Quintin, among other diplomats. This meeting was reported by the head of state himself, and he tweeted that they discussed, among other things, the situation and the progress of the peace mission in Congo. That is what we are given. But I read more than meets the eye. So it is this meeting that I want us to discuss because it is seldom reported in the media. You know, Uhuru Kenyatta is a child and a project of the West. In 2013 and 2017, they literally gave him victory. If you ask the CORD and of course NASA supporters then, they will tell you that Raila won, but the international community intervened and gave Uhuru Kenyatta, back then Uhuru, power. This is corroborated by the fact that in 2017, the US Delaware Senator came to Kenya and broke a truce between the former President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga, and they shook hands in one of the famous handshake brothers. That has been a cord that has united them to this moment, for better, for worse. No wonder you see Raila with Uhuru Kenyatta everywhere they are. When they are trying to take over Jubilee, Raila is with them. So Uhuru Kenyatta is a project, he's their child, and they love him. When he faced cases, when he was indicted to The Hague to answer cases of atrocity and massacre, it is the US and the late Queen that helped Uhuru Kenyatta, and he got off the hook. He was later vindicated because he is their child. And then Uhuru Kenyatta did the most honorable thing to the international community. He never meddled in his succession politics at a time when the Azimio fraternity thought that they had the deep state. USA had warned Uhuru to keep off from his succession politics. And that is how William Ruto managed to beat Raila Odinga, who was almost seen as a project of the state then. Because the truth is, Uhuru Kenyatta would have really wanted Raila Odinga to ascend to power. He had all the machinery. Ministers were supporting him, people like Fred Okengo Matiang'i, Joe Musheri, Eugene Wamalwa. Uhuru Kenyatta was the head of state and the head of government and the commander-in-chief of all the armed forces. To date, the question why the policemen had to beat Ledamo Lekina in Bomas when Matiang'i was in charge of the police, and Hilary Mutambai was in charge of the police as the Inspector General, that question has never been answered. So Uhuru Kenyatta handed over power to the US project, William Samoei Ruto, very amicably, very peacefully. And to date, they still hold Uhuru Kenyatta in high esteem. So when this government decided to attack Uhuru Kenyatta, to attack his party, they don't take it lightly. So they might have paid this courtesy call to Uhuru Kenyatta to show the Kenya Kwanza team that this is a vote of confidence. They still believe in him. Remember, after his retirement, after he had done his 2 terms, they gave him another job in Congo, where he is leading a peacekeeping mission. He's looking at bringing order, sanity and tranquility in that very volatile country. And this peace mission is sponsored and is being monitored by the international community led by the USA. So with all this, Uhuru is a very important leader to them. Uhuru is an important leader even to the African Union. So they went there because of late the Kenya Kwanza team has been baying for Uhuru's blood. And so it's like Meg Whitman and the Diplomats are just telling the Kenya Kwanza team that, look, we still hold Uhuru in high esteem. Keep off this kind of narrative of attacking Uhuru Kenyatta. It also means standing with him. The other day, when they invaded Uhuru's Northland farm, the Diplomats were very quiet. The silence was very deafening. And Raila Odinga led the Azimio fraternity to condemn the silence of the international community. And Raila had accused the international community of ditching Uhuru Kenyatta when Uhuru needed them the most. Of course, there were other things like an attempted murder on Raila Odinga when they shot at his car 9-10 times. So this time round, the Diplomats never wanted to keep quiet when the Kenya Kwanza is leading onslaught against the former president. So they are telling the Kenya Kwanza team, you can stop, because this is a coded message. While leading the National Delegates Conference, because this meeting was also the timing was also very significant. It came just a day after Uhuru had led a National Delegates Conference and they had taken head-on the Kenya Kwanza team. While there, Uhuru made a speech that really scared both the international community and the Kenya Kwanza team. Uhuru is a very pivotal leader in Azimio. He is rich, he can always help with monetary services, he's still got a large following, he's the one who had cautioned Kenyans against electing the Kenya Kwanza team. They had expected that Uhuru Kenyatta would retire peacefully and retire from politics. But while giving a speech, Uhuru revealed that he really had considered retiring from politics and taking a peaceful rest. But he says that the Kenya Kwanza team decided to intimidate him, and he told them off that if they wanted to intimidate, then they would better look for someone else and not he. And he said that he would continue in active politics, he would continue to lead Jubilee. This did not augur well with the Kenya Kwanza team, because if there is one person who has become a thorn in the flesh to the Ruto administration, especially for Rigathi Gachagua, who wants to inherit the leadership in Mount Kenya, it is Uhuru Kenyatta. You know, many people look at Uhuru's prophecy and they remember how Uhuru had warned them. And now when the prices of basic commodities are getting higher and higher and the cost of living is even getting worse, they remember Uhuru. And so they would have really loved that Uhuru gets out of the picture. Because anytime they see him, Uhuru reminds the people of his prophecies, of his warning. With that statement to continue, and the Kenya Kwanza team has always accused Uhuru Kenyatta as the one who has been sponsoring the Azimio demonstration, because they believe Uhuru has money, they believe the money that Uhuru gets through the Jubilee party maybe is the one that is being used to sponsor the demonstrations. So when Uhuru declared that he will continue in politics, they didn't take it lightly. And I have a feeling that maybe This delegation led by Madam Meg Whitman went to talk him out so that he can ditch Azimio, he can retire from active politics. Because let me tell you something, if there is one factor that has always been a difference between Raila Amolo Odinga and ascending to power, it is the international community. Raila has the people. Raila has everything. In 2007, they forced him to shake hands with Mwai Kibaki, and they took the lesser position of a prime minister. It happened in 2013 and 2017. So Uhuru will always listen to them. Like I told you, they help him be vindicated from The Hague, and they gave him power in 2017. So if they ask Uhuru Kenyatta to retire from active politics, you might just see Uhuru Kenyatta retiring, and of course they can broker a truce where the government will now stop interfering with the Jubilee affairs. They can make an arrangement where Uhuru will hand over to the leaders that he wants, not Kanini Kega, not Sabina Chege. And in turn, Uhuru might retire from active politics. So I have a feeling that they went to talk him out. This meeting also came at a very significant moment when the bipartisan talks are almost collapsing, because the Azimio team decided to take a break for 7 days. They cited lack of seriousness from Ruto team. Ruto has been playing ping pong games with these talks. He's really taking it for granted, because he knows that the more he extends, the more the momentum that people had will soon die, and it will be very difficult for Raila to call people back to the streets. It is also a moment to try and interfere with the servers, so that all of a sudden they will call Raila to scrutinize the server, and it will read what Chebukati had announced. So Meg Whitman has always supported these talks, because they want Raila Amolo Odinga to accept the office, the office of official opposition leader that they want to create. With this, they feel that they can contain Raila Amolo Odinga. They had said earlier that they want a strong opposition, and that is why they want to create an office. I wonder how realistic that is, that you want to create an office for an opposition leader to checkmate you. William Ruto says one thing, but he means the other. He's been buying every members of parliament from Azimio, and you wonder how he wants a strong opposition. He keeps on interfering. He wants to interfere with the Jubilee. He wants to interfere with the KANU party. He wants to render opposition useless and into a skeleton. Yet he still has the guts of telling people that he wants a strong opposition. So this meeting might have been used to ask Uhuru Kenyatta to try and intervene, to urge Raila to go on with the talks. Because the truth is, William Ruto is squandering a golden opportunity. If Raila would call people back to the street this time round, it will be bigger, because every sector is feeling the pain of the high cost. Doctors, as I told you earlier, are preparing. They have given a strike notice. Teachers are on their way. The university students are complaining because of the subsidies that were removed. The cost of education is just high. There is a pending bill in parliament that wants to increase the VAT on fuel, and this means that the cost of everything will just skyrocket. Even before that bill is passed, the cost of sugar, the cost of unga has skyrocketed, and we don't have the unga that they've told us that cost 150 shillings or that. So if Raila calls for these demonstrations now, it is going to be worse than it was. So Meg Whitman is one person who does not want anybody interfering with their project. They want to ensure that William Ruto succeeds, because when Kenya is at peace, then the international community will have their way, and this is something that they understand well. So I believe Uhuru is being requested to talk to his brother, not to abandon the talks. And I've realized that Raila really understands and listens to Uhuru Kenyatta. This could have been the reasons why this meeting took place. It is a meeting that is rarely reported, or I don't know whether I'm the one who didn't really search well, but this is what is happening, and the international community will try as much as they can to broker a truce between Uhuru Kenyatta and William Samoei Ruto. I don't know what you think, ladies and gentlemen. but this is my thought.